Do you know about the couple who was asked to stay in a room for 50 days, and if they could do it, they would get $5 million?
Was the room at least nice?
So it was a really basic room, and then basically the couple has to stay in this room for 50 days, and if one of them leave, the prize goes down from $5 million to $1 million. So the couple has no outside connections. All they have is each other. There's no entertainment. There's really nothing to do at all. So the couple's names is Mike and Kate, and when they get into the room for the first time, they look around and they think the room is beautiful. The room is completely covered in white, and all they have is a bed, a bench, and like a bathroom, and that is it. And Mike and Kate have been through a lot, and they've been through a lot of struggles, so they finally thought this is their opportunity to finally be comfortable and live a good life. So in the room, the bathroom has a rule where only one person can go in the bathroom at a time.
That's kind of weird because they're a couple.
Yeah, so on the wall there's also this red button, and if they press the red button, that allows the doors to open, and that means they want to leave. There's also a touchscreen on the wall where it allows them to buy treats, and at the very top of the wall there's this countdown clock that's counting down the days, like the 50 days, and every day they're given this nutritious food, but it's in a white bottle with no taste, but it has all the nutrients they need. It literally just says food on it.
Okay, this room sounds like it sucks.
So every day the lights change from like morning to show afternoon to show night. So after the first night, they wake up to take a shower and they change their clothes, and they're just given a new pair of pajamas. And as time goes by, they realize it's hard to keep each other entertained. So Kate starts to do yoga, and Mike just stands around looking at the clock, counting down the 50 days. And then Kate keeps trying to tell Mike, like, stop looking at the clock. It's going to make it really hard for you. And Mike's like, no, I have to look. Like, he can't do it. So at night, Mike has a hard time sleeping. All he does is stays up and starts thinking about things. So the next morning, Kate tries to help lift Mike's spirits. So she's like trying to play games with him, dances with him, plays like patty cake with him. So Mike starts to get better. He starts to try to exercise when Kate's doing yoga. So then a couple weeks go by, and they realize something different happens. And all of a sudden, Mike finds a little bug on the ground.
How does a bug change things?
What Mike does is he grabs his food, right, the tasteless food, and he starts pouring it on the ground to help the bug, trying to feed it. But then all of a sudden, the AI security yells at Mike and says, hey, you cannot do that. You cannot put your food on the ground. It's against the rules. So Mike asks the AI, like, can we please help this bug? This bug is suffering. Let's let him free. So the AI is not responding to Mike. So Mike wants to hit the red button to open up the doors to let the bug go. But Kate is scared. If he touches the red button, she thinks that they're going to lose. So Kate and Mike start arguing, and Mike's accusing Kate of not having a heart and not wanting to help this bug. And Kate gets really mad at Mike. So she walks away. But in the process of walking away, she accidentally steps on the bug and kills it. So Mike gets really depressed, and it makes him really upset. So he decides to use $100,000 of their money to buy a treat for himself. And the treat that was given to him was a green crayon. And this makes Mike so happy because he was an artist before he entered the room. So he's able to draw on the walls, and he's like really happy to be creative again. So Kate watches Mike draw, and she realizes that she was wrong and she was being heartless. So she sits with Mike and watches him draw. So the next day, Kate wakes up and goes into the bathroom, and she sees a gun sitting on the sink counter.
How would a gun randomly appear there?
Yeah, it's really strange. So Mike and Kate grab the gun and they hide it underneath the bed. So a couple hours go by, and since they were able to last in the room for 30 days, they were given video messages from their loved ones. So these videos were pre-recorded videos from their family members, basically giving them videos of encouragement. But then all of a sudden, Kate's dad gets on the screen, and she just starts to get really depressed and doesn't want to hear what he has to say because she doesn't like her dad. So she runs away and tries to hide from the video. So after this, Kate gets really depressed and doesn't want to do anything, just sleeps in her bed all day. So Mike tries to help Kate, but through this process, he ends up getting really depressed. And when Kate sees him depressed, she wakes up and realizes that she better help him. So Kate tells Mike, you should get a treat, get the last treat, pay $250,000 and get the treat. So Mike does it. Then all of a sudden the doors open up and this lady walks in.
The lady's the treat?
Yeah, so Mike and Kate are super confused. Like, why is this lady here? So Mike and Kate are super confused, like, why is this lady here? And Kate doesn't like this girl. She cannot stand that the girl's here. Her name is Simone. And Simone really likes Mike's art on the wall. And this makes Kate super jealous.
Okay, how much time is left before they win?
At this point, I think they have like 2 weeks left until they win. So Kate is over it, so she uses some more money to buy a treat for herself. So the treat that was given to her is like this candy. So she offers it to Mike and Simone. And after Mike eats it, he starts going crazy.
What the heck?
So Kate is really worried that Simone's going to take Mike away from her. So Kate and Simone start fighting. So they all go to sleep that night. And then the next morning when Kate wakes up, she looks around. She can't find Simone anywhere. But then she realizes on the wall there's a message written down on it. And basically it says that she hooked up with Mike the night before. And Mike said he never did anything like that. And it's just like how the gun magically appeared. Someone's trying to mess with them. So Kate doesn't believe Mike at all and pushes him against the wall, and he hits his head. And Mike starts to feel dizzy and doesn't feel well, and he feels he needs to get a doctor. But Kate is like, no, we can't leave. We can't get a doctor for you. She's worried about losing the money.
You can really see how the money's starting to get to her.
Yeah, so Mike is disgusted that Kate's even acting this way. So he gets up, pushes the red button, and is about to leave. And Kate Kate starts threatening him and telling him he cannot leave, but Mike ends up leaving. Keep in mind, they just had 2 days left until they were going to win the $5 million.
So what does Kate end up doing?
So Kate starts going crazy, and all of a sudden you see her approach the red button, but then all of a sudden the story jumps 4 months later, and you see Mike running down the street, and he runs into Kate, and he asks Kate, like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, did you end up winning the game? And Kate avoids answering the question. But what you see in the distance is that she ends up helping buy like a homeless shelter. So she ends up winning. But the story ends with a new couple entering the room, and they're going to be the new people trying to win the $5 million.
This is a really intense story.